starts with Before the Deluge. This is John Breslin with you on Highland Radio on Around the Northwest. Now, this weekend, or from this weekend, I should say, there is the start of an epic 5-year Brian Friel centenary celebration. And through August, there's going to be 35 performances of 5 of his plays. And they will be in the places that inspired them, or in the case of this weekend, where they were set, because it starts off with Dancing at Lunasa in the Glenties, just metres from the house in which it was set. Sean Doran is FrielDays co-curator and joins us now on the line. So, Sean, you're in for a busy August for sure. So 5 plays, different locations, and it's a big undertaking.
It's a very big undertaking, but kind of in respect of such a great man, you know, and the centenary is 2029 of his birth, just outside Omagh in Tyrone. And we decided rather than wait to then, let's take all 29 plays, perform readings in little ballybegs across Donegal mostly, but also Derry and Tyrone, the northwest, and bring them to the terroir that inspired them, the community that inspired them. And we just threw the dice of which plays hit anniversaries this year, and they seem to be as potboilers of Dancing at Lunasa, which opens this Friday, August the 1st, in Glenties in the St. Columba's Comprehensive School, runs to the 17th of August, and then Faith Healer will be 2 weekends, the 8th to 10th of August and 15th to 17th of August, and then translations in Dunlewy Centre from the 22nd to the 25th of August, and they're all done in different ways. I mean, even audiences who know Friel or have been to his work will find there's a twist to each and every one of them. But also the way we do them, the genre, let's say, is what we call performed readings. So not just full productions. There's sets and production kind of things there. But what that releases is a space for the text and the poetry of Friel to really, really sing. And that makes it more accessible in many ways for an audience to sit down. They're near the rehearsal stage in some ways. It's like the page just creeping into the stage experience that you have. And it has a sort of raw, much more excited kind of intensity among the actors in delivering it. So all the actors arrived for Dancing at Lunasa yesterday from London and England and Southern Ireland and the North as well to come together and just started rehearsals.
Brilliant. When you say there's something different, I know that for one of the plays, the audience get onto a bus, and then for another one, you visit some historic ruins. So you know it's going to be Brian Friel plays with a twist for sure.
Yeah, and it's giving that bit of extra for the audience. So the bus one you're referring to is Faith Healer, because it's 4 monologues, and 4 monologues is a big thing to sit in one theatre, and one by one each of the 3 actors does the monologue. So instead we have allocated each actor a community hall in West Donegal and Eden Infa and Kilclooney and Portneuf, and the audience peripatetically gets on a bus, 2 buses, and goes round to the venues in West Donegal, and then has a picnic dinner on the pier. So it's all very enjoyable across a number of hours. And the Dancing at Lunasa, if you enter the big canteen hall, we've made a massive installation of turf, a Sacred Heart, massive radio, commissioned a new score for the radio with a DJ Marconi that's in the play, and a huge 15-foot table. So there'll be a nice surprise of what the audience is going to come in and actually be so close to the actor, so intimate with them in the traverse, which means audiences are both sides. And the play's never been done like that before.
Wow. It definitely is bringing bringing new elements to the productions, and the great thing about it is that they're set in places where Brian Friel was so close to, that he loved, that he set his plays in, and not just, as you mentioned at the start there, not just here in Donegal, but in Derry and Tyrone.
Completely so. It's so unique for such a globally recognized figure, the sense of that he never left his place in life and work. And therefore that observation and intense engagement with it just feeds into the plays in a way that for an audience to come and feel them and see them here just gives an extra. They will tap into the memory, the psychic memory of place. And as you mentioned, the school is only 50 meters from the Laurels, and we've chosen the Dunlewy Centre because for translations because it's in the Gaeltacht. And the 7 Irish actors who are coming, they'll speak the whole play in English, but they are also Gaelic speakers. So they'll have the two languages in their heads, and the two English characters are actually two English actors coming to join them. And the audience gets to, you mentioned it, at Dunlewy, just across the lake, about 3 minute bus ride, they'll go before the performance to the Glentornan Ghost Village. So an early 19th century village that was abandoned in 1911, but it'll give the atmosphere, and we'll have a shanachie in there that the audience can experience and be primed before they then go into either the Weaver's Cottage for the matinee performances or the main hall in Glenties for Brian Friel's words.
In many ways, it brings us closer to maybe his thinking and his train of thought when he was writing these plays, and also gives the audience a better understanding of what they're watching or what they're about to see.
I think so. It plays or can be entertainment and should be and will be. But it's amazing where they are done in the context and who the actors are, of course, can just pick out things that you've never heard before and bring a new sort of layer of interpretation or contemporaneous to the play, even though you may have seen it so many times before. But as we all know, I mean, he was a master of write. The quality of the writing is poetic, it's so lyrical, but the dialogue is also so funny and catches the notes of the community in Donegal sort of accent and history. And it just is always afresh and anew how he so masterfully can put a play together that is one of the best writings of any writer, regardless where they are in the world. And it happens to be, it's here where we all come from in Donegal.
So the cast are arriving now for rehearsals, and how does it work? Do all the cast, are they all split up? Are the various plays are the cast then taken from the one pool of actors, or do they go off to different locations to rehearse separately?
Yeah, no, very good question. I mean, yeah, no, they are all different actors for the different productions. There's about 47 actors altogether coming to Donegal over the next 5 weeks. So it's 5 plays across the 5 weeks. And the cast for Dancing with Lunasa is a multicultural cast. So there's 3 black actors in Dancing at Lunas, and this is the first time in Ireland or the UK that it's a sense of sisterhood as much as biological sisters. And also, I mean, a real thing about Friel in his plays is there's this global kind of outlook all the time. So Father Jack comes back from Africa and Dancing at Lunasa. The radio's on, it was Radio Athlone then in the early 1930s, but it's communicating the world. In 1936, when the play's set, that's when the Olympics in Berlin happened. That's when the Spanish Civil War happened. And Jerry and the play goes off to the Spanish Civil War. So that global context, we're going to bring out much more in different ways.
All right. It all sounds fascinating. And then over the course of the weeks as well, there's going to be a celebration of Seamus Heaney's poetry.
Yes. Well, because we're going to finish in Derry at the last weekend of August, the 29th to 31st of August, with Brian Friel's Volunteers, the 50th anniversary of that play, a play that was dear to his heart but has never received a production this century in Ireland or Britain. So it's a real rarity, and we're doing it in the Keep in Ebrington Square, site specifically, in co-production with the Playhouse there. But because Seamus Heaney wrote his fourth collection, North, the very same year, 1975, and both were separately inspired. They're friends and they were colleagues in FrielDays that they set up several years later, but they were inspired by the bog bodies in Jutland to use those as a metaphor or a way through to articulate and communicate their thoughts and feelings about the Troubles at the height of the Troubles. So the play was raw then, and so Heaney's North will be read by 30 different citizens from Derry and Donegal in 4 venues across the 2 days, Saturday the 30th and Sunday the 31st, the First Presbyterian Church, the first half of part one, and then the rest of part one of that collection in the gas yard in the bog side. The bog poems will be there. Then the following day in the courthouse in Derry, there's 3 poems that'll be in there, and then finish in Heaney School, which is now Lumen Christi on Bishop Street on Sunday afternoon. So you can go to the Friel play along with the Heaney, because one of the things we're doing is not just site specific, it's time specific. So the Friel play on the Saturday and Sunday, Act 1 will be at 8:30 in the morning. Then you can go to part 1 of the Heaney at 11, and part 2 at 2 o'clock, and then come back for Act 2 at 4:30 in the afternoon as a whole sort of day experience or package, because Friel puts in Act 1 in the chronology, the scenography, after 8 in the morning, and then Act 2 later in the afternoon. So we've followed it to the T. Yeah.
Wow. So if anybody wants to invest their whole day or get immersed for the entire day, then this is the opportunity. So Sean, where can people get information? Where can they get tickets and information?
They go straight to artsoverborders.com, so www.artsoverborders.com, and there's links there to getting the tickets, and there will be information there on it as well.
Okay. artsoverborders.com. Sean Doran, the best luck over the 5 weeks, and thanks for having a chat with us.
Thank you so much.